gotta have my phone. Where's my phone?
All right, what's good? What's popping? What's cracking, everybody? You are tuned into What Did I Think About This Week? I am your host, Janean, Queen of Classic, Bougie Thuggin' all day, every day. And shout out to you if you're tuned in live on Six Families Radio. Shout out to you if you're listening or tuning in or just a part of the OTS family. And shout out to all of my listeners and subscribers on all podcast platforms. So this week we have a special guest, a newbie to the show, somebody I go way, way back with because we both from the Stupid Stupid Know. And I'm so excited to have him here. Everybody, please welcome Felipe, aka Fresco Phillipe.
Skirt. We out here.
Period. How are you? Thank you so much for coming and do the show with me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. We're good, man. We're good. We a few shots in, so we
Yep.
ready for it.
I'm not doing shots because I was drinking last night and I'm really still not fully back from that. So I'm sipping on whiskey with a splash of pineapple. So I'm
Ooh,
sipping with you, just not shots.
that's what's up. You're just classier than I am. That's almost
Classy.
every almost every situation I'm in. Everybody's classier than I
Oh, not even. I was having
am.
this conversation with an artist that I was interviewing on my other podcast, Past the Odds, shameless plug. And she was saying that before she does any kind of like interviews or performances, like she doesn't like drink or smoke or anything because she feels like she
What?
needs to have a clear head. So you
Fuck.
as an artist now, do you have to kind of pregame to get yourself into the groove of things or?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like definitely when it comes to creativity or just like any situation where I might be nervous,
Mm-hmm.
um, I have to kind of like block out all the thoughts and get down to like my true self. And I feel like my true self comes out when I'm at least a little bit litty.
What is your preferred littiness? Are you more so smokage? You so more so drinking, or do you like to crossfade?
All of that. All of that.
All of the above.
Yes. No, I mean, yeah, man. Like, there's nothing better than like a good crossfade. You got smoke to like open up the creative juices and get you feeling things and really like thinking about things that you wouldn't normally do. But also like you turn up on liquor or alcohol in general. Like, if you want to get in a good mood, like
Hmm.
that's what everybody does is they drink. So, I like both, man. I like both for sure.
A good crossfade is nice, and then I do a triple threat because I am a hookah girl. Like I can't
Okay.
turn up without a hookah, so it's
Yeah.
like let's
Oh,
just throw all
what
of it
you?
in there.
I didn't know you were Dominican. What's up?
I know, right? Like,
That's. I
yeah,
mean,
Dr.
honestly,
Dominican for sure.
that's probably what you are, cause you're multiracial, and like
Probably,
between like black and Venezuelan, that's probably Dominican. Like, if you wanted to, like, if it was a
probably.
color wheel and you wanted to make a Dominican, you mix a South American and a black person, and you make a Caribbean
And weird logic that actually makes sense to me. I'm
person.
not gonna argue that because I have been mistaken for Dominican before. I'm like, nope, that's not it. But
Yeah.
same thing. All right. Well, before we get into what did I think about this week, please sit back and enjoy the musical stylings of Fresco Felipe.
Hey, yeah, turn that shit up for that one. Make sure you have the bass all the way up, and then make sure you in your crossfader zone.
Period. All right, then this is when I'm gonna chop it up. Whoopty whoopty whoop.
That.
All right. So that was your new single YSL.
Yes. What'd you think about it?
I love it. First of all, I didn't even know you were doing music until like a week ago, until like we
Yeah.
first started talking about collabing on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I've been a SoundCloud fan ever since. I've just been playing your
Hey,
singles over and over again. So
that's what's up.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. I honestly, so I've been into it for a long time. I've always like kind of it's always been kind of a hobby for me.
Hmm.
But like the last 2 months, I got a mic. I started taking it really seriously, and I feel like it's been going well. I feel like we're on the come up.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely have a dope sound, and like you're a little versatile too, because like you have the song that sounds kind of drill beatish, kind
Yeah.
of drill like, and I was like, okay, fuck with drill like that, but I like this. And I may be biased because I know you, but I played
Yeah,
it for my husband, and he's like the toughest critic. He was like, okay, I like that.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I feel like I've gotten to a point where I like my music, and
Hmm.
I'm my own toughest critic. So like the first song YSL was the first song that I heard, and I was like, okay, this is it. Like I'm lit to this right now. So then I was like, let me promote it and shit. And so far, small sample size, but people are fucking with it. So I think it's cool. I think it's a cool first step.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's cool, man. It's definitely fun.
Are you gonna do a video for it? I know we're in COVID and we're supposed to be staying 6 feet away, but like get a
Yeah,
pool
so
with some big booty hoes, you know?
exactly. So YSL, I don't know if YSL is gonna get a video. I feel like YSL was the introduction. And I've got some other stuff cooking up, but
Hmm.
I was just like I've been talking to people about it the last like day or two,
Yeah.
and we're like the plan is I want to shoot a video in about a month or so. And yeah, we definitely gonna safely get lit. We're gonna figure out how to get lit. It's probably gonna be open air. It's probably gonna be fake tight, but actually like social
Take tight.
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. We're gonna make it happen though. Like I've got some really cool, talented people that are gonna be
Hmm.
helping me out with it. So I'm excited, man. I gotta like get in the gym and get video ready, man. Cause like
Nigga.
audio sound cool, but when you gotta be in front of the camera, you gotta look
Yep.
cool too. So I gotta
Understand
I gotta get
that.
myself right. Yeah, this studio life, man. It'll put some pounds on you.
I've been working from home since 2016 post baby. I have been like gym wear. But now
Yeah,
that things are definitely picking up and there's more video, like you're right. I'm definitely
yeah,
here with you. But I'll be there in support. I'm gonna have on my Fresco face mask, and I'll be passing out bottles of water to make sure
hey,
everybody is
for
hydrated
sure.
during the turn up.
Yes, for
Yup.
sure. We already talked about you editing all my grammar on anything I put out from now on.
But the funny thing about that is I have an ongoing joke with another group chat of mine where like
Uh-huh.
they catch me every time I mess up because I type fast and I have nails, so I'm always
Yeah.
messing up. And how dare I come check you when I'm also as bad? But
You're
we can
actually
we can
the
check each
only
other.
person that caught it. Like you're the only person that caught it, and like I still haven't even seen it. Like you sent me the screenshot and I still haven't like every time I play it it's just playing and I'm like vibing, so I still haven't seen it. So hopefully the song is good enough to where people are vibing and they're not reading the words.
I told you, like, you could just play it off if somebody else calls it out. Like, first of all, that was on purpose. That was so
Uh,
you could read it the way I said it. So
yeah,
that it'll
so you
rhyme with the
could
song. So chill out.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
chill out. All right. So, what did I think about this week? RIP to Malik B, co-founder of the group The Roots. He passed
Crazy.
away this week, and I know I didn't really listen to The Roots a lot, but I know what they did for the culture, and I know this definitely hit a lot
He's
of people hard.
legendary. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely legendary MC. Like when you think about like the whole like New York scene and the whole like lyrical scene, like real wordsmiths, like he's one of the people that you think of. And it's crazy because like he would do stuff like that just off freestyles. He was just nasty. The whole Roots in general, like they're each at the top of their game in what they do.
Hmm.
And they're very respected, and I it's crazy, man. It definitely caught me off guard because he's young, or he was young. So it's like we're
He was in
losing
his
a lot.
40s, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
nowhere near like what you would think. um so it's just wild, man. It's mind blowing. Like I was talking to my friends recently that death is closer than you think. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah.
lot of these people, they uh they had no idea. You would look at them and you would say like it's a young healthy person. They're rich, they have their whole careers and everything going for them to stay healthy and live a long life, and then they just like they're taken away from the world like that. So it's crazy, man. It could happen to anybody, and like especially now with corona, like you never know, man. One cough and you could be wraps.
And I think too, as we get older, like death is more, it's just more real for us because I never really not I don't want to say I didn't understand the concept of death, but I never dealt with death or realized I don't know. I just never personally dealt with it until the past couple of years, and I
Yeah,
still don't know how to really process it.
yeah, I'm the same exact way. Excuse me. Like I didn't have a lot of family members that like passed away. I wasn't
Hmm.
super close to like my grandparents because they're in Mexico. So I mean, like yeah, it was just it was weird, man. It's never been that close to me, and I feel like lately, you know how they say like the rule of three, uh, what is it, three people away or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's been really close, like people that I know or people that like friends of friends or family of family, stuff like that. So it's like it just makes you feel like, what would I do if it was me? What would I do if it was my parents? Like literally, your
Ooh, I couldn't
parents
even
start to get to the
imagine.
point where like one wrong move, and they could be gone, and you start thinking about that stuff. It's crazy, man. It's really scary
It
if
drives you
you
to
really
drink, right? No.
yeah, yeah, for
But I kind
sure.
of talked about this, which is this could be like a whole nother episode, but how I talked about how like growing up, you saw your parents and like aunts and uncles, and like they didn't age to you, like they were just
Right,
always this superhero. And then you
right,
blink one day, and then like you start to see them aging, you start to see them look
exactly.
older, you start to see them not move as fast, and it's like running into a brick wall. Like it's the
Yeah,
worst.
for sure too. And like our parents and grandparents generation, they were having kids at like 18, 20, stuff like
Hmm.
that. So it's like you see your grandma, she's only 20 years older than your mom. And she still looks good and she's fine. And like especially for me, like I don't see my family very often. I see them like
Hmm.
every year, every few years, stuff like that. So like I'll go back and see my grandma. I'm like, man, my grandma, she's a little old lady now. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
she's
saying?
a
So
little old
it's
lady.
it's crazy. It's so weird, man. It's weird how it happens.
It is, but death is inevitable. The great circle of life.
You
uh,
definitely you definitely started this. I thought this was gonna be a fun, happy,
I know. How
laughing,
dare
and we
I?
got we got deep right off the bat. That's cool though.
I kind of like getting the deep stuff off first, so that like by the time we end, it's like upbeat and happy, and we can go off into our merry day. Let's just get the
Right,
heavy shit on out the way.
for
Um,
sure.
Speaking of heavy, Megan the Stallion came on Instagram and spoke for the first time after the Tory Lanez shooting incident. And it was nice to hear from her. Nice to know that she's doing well, that she's recovering. But she made everybody feel like total douchebags for even making jokes or to have questions about the incident.
Nah, nobody's safe, bro. Nobody's safe. Like no matter what, no matter who you are, like nobody's safe from the internet, and like you can't expect to be safe, especially
Hmm.
when so much of your livelihood and so much of the reason why you have all the things you have is because people talk about you on the internet. You got to be ready to get the negative. So I mean it is what it is. It's a crappy situation, and if we're being real, like obviously it sucks that it happened to her. And if we're being real, like I still have a lot of questions about what the fuck was going on that night. Like
Yes.
what led up to this? Like what was happening? Like was Tori having like issues, like low man syndrome type shit? And it's crazy that nobody talked about, like people kind of said that like Tory Lanez was short and everybody knew he was like smaller in stature. But it wasn't until he shot somebody that people started really going in on him. So it's crazy. Now he's little guy. Now he's got little guy syndrome. But I don't know. Like
It's
I'm
gonna
so
be
curious.
it's gonna be hard for him to bounce back from this. Like the only way that this is going to make sense is if like he was like in fear of his life. Like what was going
Yeah,
in that car to make it okay to shoot her twice? And then like you said, like I think that of course as a woman, like you want to feel protected and you want to feel like your feelings are being taken seriously because yeah, I'm an entertainer, but I'm still a fucking human. Like I still go through things. Like this was still a traumatic experience. So like I don't want you to take it lightly, but at the same time, like you said, you're not one of the artists that's like a J. Cole or Drake to where you're ducked off and we don't see you until like it's project time. You're heavily active with
exactly.
your fans. You're on Instagram every day, you're on live talking. So your fans have they feel like they know you, and they feel like they're obligated to the T and to know what happened.
Yeah.
So like you have to take both sides when it's good and when it's bad. And like you said, like people have questions like, how do you get shot in both feet? Like what
Yeah.
was going on, and how did it not hit any bones when like your foot is mostly bone?
All
Like
bones. Yeah.
we need like it's a weird, not it's a weird story as a whole. The people involved is wild as hell because like now Kylie's involved somehow, some way.
It was her party, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or
I think they were leaving her pool party or something. I don't know.
yeah,
Who knows?
it's crazy, man. Yeah, I definitely would have wanted to be at that party. That party sounds like it was lit. But I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of questions, and like I mean, yeah, like you said, like she's up and coming. She depends on all of these things to make her livelihood, to make her money, and like she's only gonna get bigger if she keeps putting herself out there. So I
Mm-hmm.
think like it's a good time for her to realize that that's something that she's gonna have to deal with for the rest of her life, and to let it like brush off. Like you said, like Drake doesn't worry about what people talk about and stuff like that. Like
Does
well, I'm saying like the big things. Obviously, if you're gonna put out
yeah.
like a whole diss track about like his
My son. Oh,
paternity
okay.
and all that,
Yeah.
but like there's got to be thousands of negative Drake tweets every day, or like
Yeah.
LeBron negative LeBron. Like the people that are biggest in their professions, they've got the most haters, and they've gotten there because they know how to let it brush off and keep moving and address things when they need to be addressed, and don't address anything that doesn't need to be addressed. So I
Mm-mm.
mean, I don't know. It's crazy though. It's definitely an interesting situation.
It is interesting. I think on one end it's like, okay, thank God you're safe. We definitely feel like you should take some time to heal and do what you need to do to get back right. And then on the flip side, from a fan or from a spectator standpoint, like
I need
we
that
have
30 for
to
30. Yo, 30 for 30.
um like these celebrities aren't superheroes, like they have feelings too. Like stop putting them on on this pedestal and let them live their damn life. Like she was even talking about how she's 25 and she's lost both parents, and she's trying to create this space of like where she feels safe, and she thought that she had done that, and then it backfired. So it's a heavy
Yo,
situation.
I'll tell you what. If anybody could take it, it's Megan the Stallion. She built for it.
All right, well.
She, bro, because if two of those would have hit somebody else, if two of those would have hit like fucking Kalani or somebody would. Never mind. Let me not. Let me relax.
I don't know the anatomy of her feet. I don't know if he directly shot it, if the shit ricocheted. I don't know. But
Yeah,
either way, we're glad she's okay. Definitely take some time to, and then it sucks that like celebrities feel like in the midst of trauma they have to come out and speak to a whole bunch of people that
yeah,
they don't know. But it
yeah,
brings it back to these people you don't know is why you're where you're at the same time.
yeah, for sure.
So
It's weird, and I wouldn't say they owe it to anybody to say
yeah.
anything. But they have to understand that people are gonna talk and people are gonna ask questions, and they have to be okay with that. And
Hmm.
you gotta understand that if there's a meme to be made, it's gonna be made. So I think
For
that's part
sure.
of it. I would shoot. I want memes to be made of me, because
You should
that's,
do TikTok. I hear TikTok's great for
bro.
artists.
I do TikTok, man. I'm so scared of Trump because I feel like I just got TikTok. I started promoting my song on it, and it's doing actually pretty well on TikTok.
Lit.
Um, and yeah, and now Trump's trying to take that away. So man, like
Is Trump really gonna take away
I
like
don't I don't think so. See, so like the thing about Trump, I feel like he does and says a lot of things on purpose. Like he'll put out a tweet right before he's trying to close out a deal or something like
yeah.
that, and try to give himself that bargaining advantage. So I think there's something going on with the Microsoft deal. Like Microsoft's trying to buy TikTok, and for some reason Trump doesn't like that. I haven't like researched it in depth, but I know I
You're
know for a
planting
fact.
the seed. Everybody go out and do your own research. This is
Right.
just the ice. This is just the tip of the iceberg here.
Exactly. I know for a fact that Microsoft was trying to buy them. I know for a fact that TikTok, that Trump didn't want it to happen. And so like I think this might be part of like a deal that he's negotiating or something like that.
Hmm.
He's like, look, I'm letting you know, like I'll cut you off real quick. So I don't know what he's doing, but I know the president doesn't do anything without foresight, unless he's tweeting.
I don't know. I have no idea. Well, and since we're here, speaking of Trump, like, were you one of the people who would have considered Kanye as a presidential candidate?
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely gonna vote for Kanye if he was gonna be on my ballot, man. And it's not so much of like I think Kanye's gonna be a great president, or I think that Kanye is this or that. I just feel very let down by the political system, and I feel like for a long time, because we have a two-party system, uh, they've gotten people's loyalty without giving them anything for it. So
Doing shit. Hmm.
exactly. So like there's so many people that will vote Democrat and like push Biden, like, yo, everybody has to get out there and vote. Everybody has to get Trump out of office. Everybody has to like put Joe Biden in office. Like, what has Joe Biden given us? What is he giving us? This man can't give us a complete sentence. And we're out here fighting for him like he's the savior. So I think they've forced uh, two two options on us, and neither one of them gets me excited to say like, yo, this person cares about me. This person's gonna do something to make my life better. So
Hmm.
and like the fact that those are the only options, like honestly, I didn't even know if I was gonna vote. Like I was definitely gonna vote in November because of the local elections, but I felt like
Yeah.
I was just gonna leave the presidential one blank. And then honestly, there's been some things where Trump or like conservative ideas about like how to move forward with things have resonated more with me
Hmm.
than like than just like the easy like Democrat answer, like, no, this is right, this is wrong, and this is what we're gonna push, and this and that. Because a lot of it, man, a lot of the Democratic policies and stuff like that, like they are very friendly to big corporations and big banks and big pharma and stuff like that. And it makes sense because they're the ones that are funding their campaigns. So like if you follow the money, you see who they really care about. And if their employers are the people that make money off of you having to like go through shit. So like big pharma makes money when you have to pay a lot for your medicine.
Hmm.
So if big pharma is your boss, then who are you going to fight for? You're going to make sure that they're good,
Hmm.
so that you're good when you're up for election again. So I think it's not until we get big money out of politics that we're going to really have candidates that care about the people, because we're not their boss. The people paying their bills are their boss, and that's who you're going to take care
You better preach, Fresco.
of.
Um, you brought up a good point just about the two party system, to where like you feel like you have to pick, and people of color have for a very long time been told that Republicans are racist, Republicans are this, that, and the third, and like you have to be a Democrat. But if you step away from like the parties and just really sit down and think about what is important to you and how you live your life, a lot of us can identify with conservative policies,
Exactly.
but the candidates that they give us aren't really to our liking.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
really a conservative at heart.
For sure, especially like if you think about minority communities, they're very involved in the church and
Hmm.
tradition and like old school ways of thinking, of working hard to like get yours and this and that. And it's crazy because it's turned into like this like conservative versus liberal thing,
Hmm.
where really it's rich people against poor people, man. Like these policies either affect rich people or they affect poor people.
Hmm.
And the issue is when you don't think about it that way, when you're seeing red and blue, you're
Yep.
not thinking about what these policies actually mean, because it's like all of these like conservative policies, like a lot of them are really bad for people who don't have money. But you go out to like these very rural communities where people don't have a lot of money, and they are, bro, Trump is their hero. And
Mm.
it's like, wait, don't you need healthcare? Like, aren't you out here struggling? Like,
Don't you need to be able to go to the
right,
doctor?
right. So it's like they're voting against what they need because of their affiliation to a party. And I mean, just like you said, the black community, like what have Democrats done for the black community? And it's like, when you keep voting for somebody, even though they're not giving you anything in return, then you're setting yourself up for them to continue to do whatever the fuck they want,
Mhm.
because they know you're gonna vote for them. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's a crazy system. I think we're very far from real change, or like trusting politicians or the government at all. I think people have lost trust, and people will continue to lose trust. And I think at this point, everybody just kind of feels like, I just got to look out for me and make sure my family's right, and then we'll see what happens with the rest of the world.
Well, just yeah, it's just about me and mine. This is not a political podcast in no way, shape, or form. I'm not well versed in any of this, but I will say that voting, I think, is important, and people feel like it's not because you only go out and vote when it's time for the president. When you missed out on all of the local elections, which is going to have a more direct effect on you. And
Exactly.
so, if you're going to be a part of the political process, really be a part of it, and don't think that your one vote is it. Like, if you're going to vote for these people, hold them accountable. Like,
Exactly.
I feel like I didn't grow up knowing to attend like town hall meetings or even a PTSA meeting, but it's so important to really be involved and to know what they're trying to do so that you can speak your opinion, the things that you want. And if you do vote for somebody who says that they're going to help you need to hold them accountable. So it's just about staying present and being part of the political process for real, through and through.
Yeah, and if you don't believe in the political process, think about the rules in your neighborhood, in your like small town, and in your city. Like all the rules, everything, every little change that happens, even if you live in a community that has a homeowners association, the
Ooh,
people that the people that are making the most noise, the Karens of the world, they're the ones who end up getting their way. Like people will say, man, I just don't want to deal with this lady yelling at me about this whatever this is, so I'm
hey,
just gonna cut my grass, I'm gonna paint my house this color or whatever. So it's like those people that are really active and really like pushing to make change, and to do things in their neighborhoods and their communities, are the people whose voices get listened to. So like really there is change there. It starts at the small local level, and getting involved in your community. But it's a lot of work, and it's annoying, and most of us are kind of passive, and we're like, we don't have time to be dealing with everybody else. And that's why the Karens get their way, because we'd rather just kind of like, bro, it's not gonna affect me. It's not until shit gets real that we get
hey,
up in
you're mad
arms and
now.
we want to
Hmm.
change. Yeah. So it's crazy, man. It's we're definitely living in very strange times.
Super spooky. Did you want and since we were talking about Kanye becoming a political candidate, like you said you would, do you still feel that way after the recent tweets and everything that's been going on, or have you been
I would
swayed a
still
little bit?
No, I would definitely still vote for Kanye, because I'm very steadfast about my opinion that it doesn't matter who the president is.
Right.
So I would vote for Kanye, because if we're gonna have a shitty president, I'd rather it be one that makes beautiful music, right?
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, I mean, like I think I really feel for Kanye, and like in the breakdown video where he was talking about like not having his father around, and like how he wants to be that for his kids, and like the pain that you saw in his words, and how he just couldn't contain his emotion. You can tell that there's a lot of pain, and there's a lot of hurt that he's got inside of him, and he is not benefited by his situation. Um like literally, like, how would you feel if you have mental health issues, and the person that's supposed to have your back through like everything, and supposed to be your rock and this and that, like makes money every time you have a mental breakdown, or gets more exposure, or has made a career out of getting exposure from these situations? So it's a very unhealthy situation for him, and him wanting to be that dad, and like wanting to make sure that his kids have the life that he didn't have, and the father that he didn't have. Like, he probably feels trapped into that situation, where he's like, I can't leave because I'm not going to leave my kids. But then if I stay, it's affecting me so much, it's affecting me so negatively. And like, I see a lot of pain in him. I know he definitely needs help, and I know that the situation that he's in is not helping him at all. So like, I know, like, when I texted you during the week, I was like, man, these Kardashians, man, they're really the problem. And I mean, it's a funny way to put it, but like, on some real shit, like, he's a guy who's had these issues for a long time. She
Yeah.
probably knew that when they met. And like, if I'm being cynical, I think she probably felt like it would be beneficial for her career. I heard somebody talk about this recently, that like every time one of these big Kardashian issues happens, like they're shooting a season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So
How
it's like, you
convenient is that? Is what you're saying?
exactly. So
Hmm.
you hear about it in the tabloids, this and that, and then the preview for the season comes out. And it's like, hey, we're gonna talk about all this shit that just happened. So tune in. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. They make money off of like shit that is not like funny, or like, it's serious stuff. It's stuff that people go through, and it's not games, but like that, I feel like it's being treated like a game. So it's just crazy to me.
I don't subscribe to the theory that the Kardashians are the downfall of men. The same way you said that, Kim probably knew that Kanye had these issues and that she could probably make good content from it. He knew he was marrying Kim Kardashian. Like, why is Kim famous? And what has she continued to be famous for? And in a sense, like, I think them getting together was kind of opportunistic for him too, because like, wasn't he in debt when they first got together? Like, him trying to launch Yeezus and everything. So okay, I'm gonna marry Kim Kardashian, who has a stupid ass fan base. Everything she sells is gold. I am gonna put her in Yeezy fashion, and it's gonna boost my stock prices. Like, they both could have been opportunistic in that situation. I don't think it's all Kim.
Right. And I don't think that he went into it thinking like, yeah, she loves me and I have nothing to gain from it. Like, he probably did. And I'm not saying that that it's not the guy's responsibility to see what's going on, and to choose to take themselves out of that situation. And a lot of people probably would say like, yeah, man, I'll put myself in that situation. I'll become one of the richest people in the world, and then when it's my time, like, I'll get out of it. I think where the problem, because he talked about wanting to abort his daughter.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it fucked up his plan. I think he had an in and out plan.
Hmm.
Like, get the clout, get the money, get the recognition, and like
And
start
get
my brand, start what I need to do,
and get the
and then
yayo.
get out, and then and then pull out game week. And now he's trapped. He's
Hella
trapped in the
weak.
Kardashian household. So yeah, so it's crazy, man. I don't know. It's definitely sad though. It's sad to see somebody trapped in a
Yeah.
situation where there's no good options, and then on top of that, you've got mental health issues, that make everything worse, and kind of magnify everything. So it's crazy. I feel really bad for him. I genuinely, like it hurt my soul to see his mental breakdown. So I really hope that he can get help, and he can get to a point where he's happy. I'd be devastated if we lost Kanye. That would be crazy. That'd be like Kobe.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody likes to talk shit about him now, but if we were to really lose him off of the strength of him not being able to deal with his issues, it would be a sad day,
It'd be
a
crazy, man.
sad
It'd be
time for
crazy.
sure, for sure, for sure. What were your thoughts on like Dave Chappelle going out there to see him? Who else went out there? It was Dave Chappelle, I believe.
Justin
Justin
Bieber.
Bieber went out there.
So Dave Chappelle, man, Dave Chappelle, he's been very transparent lately. He's been out, um like his last few comedy specials have been a lot about like his personal life and what he's
Mm,
actually going through, and his battles that he's had and stuff like that. So I think Dave Chappelle seems like the type of person who genuinely cares, and he might have seen what I was talking about. Like he might have seen that pain and that disparity in Kanye. So I feel like he was there to help. Justin Bieber is somebody who's been in that spotlight and who's probably had his own issues and probably saw him and was like, man, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I like, if I had to assume, and if I'm not being cynical, I would say that they were both there because they felt him and they saw that he needed help. And they wanted to be there for him. And I don't know what their relationships are personally, but if
Right.
that's your friend and you see your friend like that, you're getting on a plane and you're gonna go at least talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
hopefully things get better in that situation. I believe I don't keep up with it too much, but I think Kim has gone out there to the ranch to be with him, and they were seen together. And like he put out a apology after he went on his rant and said that her and Meek had met up for reasons other than prison reform. So
Yeah,
hopefully they're trying to get some kind of healing done
yeah.
versus it just being for the cameras. You know.
So this is gonna be on record that I had said what I said, and if Kanye comes out of this and he makes a recovery and he's still with Kim at the end of this, I'm gonna have a lot of respect for her, because it takes a lot to be with somebody that's going through that stuff, and like
Hmm.
it takes like a real ride or die. So I would definitely eat my words if I see him come out of that and she be by his side through all of it. I would take it back, but for now, I think that, I don't know, man. I like the Kardashians. They they be they be moving in mysterious ways.
Right. Well, we're gonna take a sharp left turn. Beyonce dropped "Black is King" on Disney Plus. Feels like it started off kind of being an album for the Lion King and kind of turned into her thing.
Yeah,
Um, I haven't watched it in its entirety. I watched the first 30 minutes. So far, so good. I think for me, I'm not a hater, but I'm not a part of the Beehive either.
right.
And I just don't like rush to like projects when she drops them. And I think because deep down I know that when I see it, I'm gonna be like obsessed and watch it over and over and over again. That's what I did with Lemonade. That's what I did with Homecoming, and now that's what's gonna happen with this because it's a lot of Afro beats, and I love Afro beats. So.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a vibe, man. And I wouldn't consider myself um like Beehive or anything either. There's very few artists that I would say I'm like a crazy fan of, like that. But Beyonce's, I mean, she's definitely like a genius, and she's definitely like somebody who will go down in history as one of the
Yeah.
biggest artists in like in the world ever. So like everything that she does, you at least you owe it to her and to everything that she's done to sit down to listen to it, and to kind of take it in, and you kind of owe it to yourself. Like it'd be crazy to be from Picasso's time, and like, well, I guess back then they hated on Picasso, huh? So
Probably.
but like but like or people when Jordan was playing, if you lived in
Hmm.
Chicago and you never saw Jordan play live, you're gonna feel like you missed out. So we're growing up in a time where we've got a lot of people making a lot of really good music and putting out a lot of really good art. So I think it's important to appreciate it while it's here.
And she very rarely misses. Like the only thing that I was not rocking with is when she remixed Before I Let Go. Like that just wasn't a classic for anybody to remake. So I think I
Yeah,
would have been mad if anybody did it. But
yeah,
Beyonce doesn't miss. Like Beyonce comes on TV or she walks into a room, like she's just one of those entities where like everything stops. Like she
yeah,
has a presence, and like even in this visual album, like she's gorgeous, and her voice sounds amazing. And
yeah,
this is, I mean,
yeah.
watch the damn
she's
visual album is
she's
what
a
I'm saying.
celebrity among celebrities. Like I've heard so many people talk about, like important people talk about Beyonce walking into a room, and it's like they felt nervous, and
Yeah.
and it's people that sell millions or have been in movies, have been in all these situations, but like she's like the popular kid in school amongst celebrities. Yeah, she's definitely next level. She's definitely like hip hop royalty, and like black royalty in general.
Yeah.
So like,
She's
yeah,
like
man.
Mike Jackson level, maybe even bigger because she's a woman and she's been able to overcome a lot. And she's like unapologetically black in everything that she does too. And like she doesn't make it where she's like, I am black, black, blackity black. Like she's not that type of like
Right.
militant, but everything she does, like visually, you'll see her like just pull from different parts of the culture, whether it be the braids, whether it be the grills, whether it be going back to like the African styles. Like she's going to definitely put on for the culture, and like you have to respect that. It's dope
Yeah, for sure.
for sure. This is a total tangent, but you said that she's like the popular kid in school. Did you feel like Meadow Creek had like a popular class, like or a popular group of kids?
Um, that's interesting actually, because I feel like Meadow Creek is very different from anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was so diverse and there were so many groups of people and like everybody was cool. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like people weren't necessarily cool with everybody else, but like every group was cool. Like you could hang out with the smart kids, or you could hang out with the athletes, or you could hang out like, man, like if I think of my friend group in high school, and I think about where they're at now and like what they're doing, it's all so diverse and
All over
so
the place.
different. And it's very
Mm-hmm.
like everybody is at exactly kind of like where you thought they would be for the most part. Like people have kind of stayed pretty true to like who they were and stuff, and I feel like everybody's kind of made it in their own way, which
Yeah.
which is really dope. But I feel like Meadow Creek was different in that way because it's not that typical. Like I think part of it was the fact that our football team only won one game, because they like you can't be the jock, like quarter star quarterback that you would have at any other school if like your team isn't that good. So it kind of brought everybody down to the same level. I do think like I remember like Chris Allen and
Yeah.
like Tiandre,
Mm-hmm.
because they were like getting recruited so highly, and our basketball team was so good. They felt, not only were they like older than us, but they felt a little bit out of reach, a
Yeah.
little bit like popular celebrity status type thing. So I feel like if we're gonna say somebody was popular or anything like that, like it would be them.
Like Tubi.
But yeah, it wasn't that like Mean Girls dynamic, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Where like
agree.
where you have the popular kids and you have the losers and you have like the nerds and you have like the punk rock kids. Like everybody's just kind of like intertwined, and I think that's so cool, and I think that's kind of like what makes all of us kind of like who we are, and like so
Mm-hmm.
like adapt to like life in general, because we there's nothing that surprises. We've seen people that look like everything and act like everything in every different combination, so like it's hard to catch somebody off guard when they've seen everything.
Yep. Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth. I have nothing else to say. Well, um, Masterpiece Story, the No Limit Chronicles, premiered on BET, and it's basically telling the story of how he basically built his empire of No Limit Records. And I think like we know how big Master P is, but then sometimes we don't, or we try to play him because now like he's doing rap snacks and like doing these noodles. But even in that, that's marketing genius because like he's like, yo, my people are eating oodles and noodles every day anyway, so why not I make
Bro,
oodles and noodles
yeah, you can't hate on money moves, man. Like
at
no
all.
matter what it is, it's as I've gotten older, I've realized that you can make money in the most random ways. There's this book called The Millionaire Next Door, and it
Mm-hmm.
talks about like how like there's different like streams of income that you don't think of. Like there's millionaire plumbers and electricians, and especially like in construction, man. There's so much money in construction. There's so much money in all these different industries that you think of a celebrity, you think of an athlete, you think of an artist or an actor or something like that, and then you think of somebody that got lucky with an app and it popped, and now they're the richest man on earth. But really you can be a millionaire doing like so many different things. So anytime there's something like yo, like if I made $1 off of every like box of noodles that I sold, and I sold 500,000 boxes of noodles, that's $500,000 a year that I'm making for noodles. And you can clown me all you want, but that's half a million every
That's
year.
money in the bank, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you know that like they're just diversifying, man, and they've got all these different streams of income. So bro, I'll never knock a hustle if it's making money.
Never. And then, you know, watching how he was able to start his company, basically, he ended up getting a $10,000. I don't know if that was a whole settlement, or if that was part of the settlement, but basically, his grandfather went to a VA hospital and they gave him the wrong medicine, and he ended up dying.
Hmm.
So they ended up winning a settlement, and that $10,000 started his, it was like a record store in Richmond, California. And then so that's how it started. And then fast forward to when he started doing music himself, and like he was going into these labels rooms, these major labels, and he was so pro self-made and I want to own everything. He was like the first rapper to make the biggest deal, to where he was doing an 80-20 split on a distribution deal. Like, you
Yeah.
don't own any of my stuff, you're just helping me get it in stores. And that was
Yeah.
unheard of in like 93, 94.
Yeah, the independent movement is definitely a lot more recent, and I honestly didn't know that, and I haven't watched it yet, but that just makes me even more excited to watch it.
Definitely watch
Um,
it.
yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, that's crazy because back then it's like you wanted to be signed, and once
Yeah.
you got signed, you made it. So for him to have that foresight and for him to be able to catch that when nobody's telling you, it's like you
Hmm.
just see and you do the math yourself, and you're like, wait, why am I, if I could just do this myself, I'm gonna like make so much more money. For him to have that foresight and to like bank on himself like that, that's crazy. I have a lot of respect for that. That's like,
Gotta love Master P. So now that you're taking music seriously, you said it's only been a couple months of you taking it seriously.
yeah.
Is the goal to sign with a major, or are you definitely on the independent route?
Oh, that's crazy. So I was
That's
thinking
crazy.
about it's crazy because I was literally thinking about this earlier. Because like anybody, man, you tell anybody like, yo, here's the bag, sign here. And it's very hard for people who came up like us, that, like we saw our parents busting their ass to just to like have enough money to live, you know what I'm saying?
The
And
necessities, yeah.
yeah, and you think about what you want for your future, and you don't want to be limited by money, and how crucial even 1 million, or like if you tell somebody $100,000 that came up in our situation, they're like, that's life-changing money, you know what I'm saying? So like bro, when people ask me, I say joking, I'm like, bro, I'll sell out so quick. like like I'll take that back so
Where's
quick.
the
Like,
paper? Right.
bro, I'll be a one-hitter quitter, bro. Like no problems, no questions asked. I'll take my million run. But I so like, yes, the goal would be to get signed, and that would be amazing, and it would be a quick come up. But I also want to work towards like like I want my main focus to be going independent and like making it happen for myself, not so much because I want more money, because I don't want to depend on like getting lucky and getting discovered. Like
Yeah.
I want to have a goal that I can work towards myself, and then if I get discovered in the meantime, like that's awesome, but I have to be working towards, if I don't get discovered, and I got to do it myself.
If I have to do it myself, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, just like, and it really these days, it's about like building influence and building followers, and having something to sell. Like, you got to think of yourself as a product.
Yep.
Like, how am I going to make other people money? So I've been like brainstorming all of these things, like all these ideas, like what if I was able to like not need concert venues, and I could do shows, or I could do like block parties, like people used to do block parties and perform at block
Ooh,
parties, and shit like
yeah.
that. Yeah, that's something. So like shit like that, like I'm trying to think of my master plan to be able to do it by myself. That way, if it happens to, if I get a shortcut, like it's there and I'll take it. But if I don't, and I have to work for all of it, then I already started, it's not like, oh fuck, now I didn't make it, now I'm gonna start like trying to go independent. It's like, it's like I'm gonna start trying to go independent from the jump, and then if I get signed in the meantime, then I'll consider it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. So I know you just been taking it serious for 3 months. You have three singles out, four.
I think there's like 4 or 5 songs on my SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But man, I'm sitting on some heat. I'm sitting on
That's
some
what I
heat.
was gonna get into. So I feel like your music is definitely like feel good, vibey music. I
Yeah.
catch your wordplay. That Evanescence line took me out. I was like, yes, Evanescence. Um, but like, are you more so of like vibey? I want a party type rapper, or do you have some like conscious rap, quote unquote, stuff in the tuck too?
So really like I I came up and I really started getting into like rap and like metaphors and the intricacies of wordplay through Lil Wayne and all his mixtapes. So a lot of like I always wanted to have bars, man. That's like metaphors and bars and like comparing shit has always been like very interesting to me, and I've always like no matter what, even if I do it on accident or if I'm trying to do it, like I want to have bars. But lately I've been all about flows, man, and I really, obviously I've always been a big Drake fan. I've got a huge, like, I feel like Drake is probably my biggest influence.
Thank you for
Because
saying that because I don't know why guys feel like it's not okay to say Drake is a like he's
hey,
amazing.
yo, Drake one time on one of his songs said, oh man, see, this is another thing I want to talk about actually, is the N word, and I'm not gonna say it on your podcast because I don't want to put you in the position to be like, oh, you can't say that, and I don't want to put you in the position where people are telling you like, why didn't you tell them you can't say that? So I'm not
I'm
gonna
glad
say.
you brought this up because I wanted to talk about that too. Look at us on the same
Yeah,
wavelength.
so I'm not gonna put you in that position, but there's a line where Drake says, I never have made music for N words that don't get pussy." So I feel like people that hate on Drake is people that can't relate to the shit that he's talking about. So they're like, "Oh fuck, like I don't know what that's like, so I've got to hate on it." But like people that have been in those situations, on some I'm gonna like your girl's pick to see if she really loves you or if she's trying to be with me vibes.
Petty, petty, petty.
Yeah, so people that have been in those situations really fuck with Drake and everything that he does, man. I've always, bro, I'll argue about Drake till the end, bro. Like I feel like he's gonna be one of those people that isn't appreciated until he's gone. Like if you look at like the numbers he's put up and the hits that he has, and like the his versatility is ridiculous because he's made all kinds of records. So I think he's gonna go down as the greatest artist of our generation, like no questions asked. And like you can hate on it now, but like in the long term, like that's what it's gonna be. So I mean, yeah. As far as like I go, like I started off like trying to do these different things, and like I would hear a beat, and I'm like, okay, what artist do I hear on it? And like that's what I want to sound like. But I've gotten to the point where I kind of have developed my own style, and I'm starting to catch like
Yeah.
similarities in my songs and like the stuff that I have coming out. That like it's like, oh, this is kind of like something that I do. So I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm definitely like in my bag, like when I'm making like turn up songs, when I'm sipping a
Yeah.
little bit, when I'm smoking a little bit, and I've got like a hype type beat. I feel like that is what I feel most comfortable doing, and what I feel like I'm best at. And I feel like it's something that we're missing. I feel like life was so good for so long that like people needed to be depressed and shit, so we had this whole wave of like emo rap and shit. But I feel like now
That's a
we're
good
like
point.
really depressed, and life sucks, so it's like we need some party shit, we need some turn up shit.
Yeah.
I remember I went to brunch a couple weeks ago, and like they're still doing the social distancing, and they have like the tables apart. But I was with my group of friends, and there was a DJ, man, and he played some turn up music, and like it hit different because you haven't been
Mhm.
able to turn up for so long, that like I was like, fuck, man, I needed that. Like I needed
Yeah.
Bad Bunny right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Shout out to Bad Bunny. We're gonna have an episode about him one day.
yo,
I love him.
that's Mexican Drake. I mean, not Mexican Drake. Damn, that's racist. How am I racist against my own people?
He's Puerto
That's
Rican.
yeah, he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Hispanic Drake. I meant to say. Um,
Because
but
apparently everybody Hispanic is
is
Mexican, so
Mexican.
it's fine.
Yeah. Hey,
Apparently.
I'm Mexican, so I'm cool with that. I'm not. I'm. But yeah, man, that's Hispanic Drake, man, and it's he's literally like had the same like trajectory where like people hate on him and this and that, but like he changed the game, and now he's the one of the biggest artists in the world. Not even the biggest Latin artist. He's like one of the biggest artists in the world. When it comes down to plays and all that stuff. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy how like some of the biggest people take the most hate.
I feel like you have to go through that though. Like you have to go through the stage of people doubting you and thinking that you're just gonna be like a little moment or a wrinkle in time. Drake has been consistently hot since what we were in high school. I think I heard
Yeah,
him for
oh
the first time
07.
on like yeah, like in '07, '08.
Yeah,
Consistently hot. So like you can't hate
it's
on that.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. That I always like that always brings up like a certain time in high school, and like Wes
Hmm.
isn't here today, but
Shout out to
like
Wes, man. He was supposed to be here, but I be on CP time, and I kind of messed up our recording schedule.
yeah.
My bad, Wes.
Yeah, we definitely would have gone in on some of these topics with Wes, but there's many more to come. But yeah, like I just remember like that group of friends, and like when something would drop, when Lil Wayne or Drake would drop something in that time, and to like talk about it the next day. It's like, yo, did you hear that he said this? And like talk about the bars and like break everything down. Like it just takes me back to like such a cool time in music, and like shit was changing, like rap was changing so much at that time. And for it to all come full circle to where it's at now, and it's like rap music is pop music, and it's the number one genre in the
Yes.
world,
Hmm.
is
Yeah.
crazy. And shit that talks about that's black excellence right there. Like the number one genre in the world is hip hop. It's not
Hip
like
hop
it's
is in
not
everything. It's in
exactly
commercials. It's in movies. It's in scores.
exactly.
It's in Hamilton, like a Broadway
Yo,
musical.
yo,
Hamilton was so
can
fire.
we talk about Hamilton, bro? Yo,
Can we
okay, so
please? Because nobody has been wanting to talk about it with me, and I
yo,
love it.
I will talk about it because I
I
was a
will talk
doubter,
about it.
bro. I was
Yep.
a doubter. I was like, man, I don't really do the whole musical thing. Like, I don't like when people are singing like in the middle of a scene for no reason. Like, people don't just break out into song. But like, and I'm not gonna lie, the day that I watched it, I was super tired. And I think I watched probably like the first like 45 minutes of it and fell asleep. But the first like
Same.
30 seconds of it, I was like, wait, are they doing this the whole time? They're just like, and it's good rap. Like these guys got bars and metaphors and
La-
wordplay, and like every
Lafayette was fire. Love
bro, they
Lafayette.
yo, it's crazy. And that boy Hamilton, man, he didn't look like he had bars, bro, but he had
That boy
heat.
Hamilton.
That boy Hamilton, shout out him. Yeah, man, that's just crazy. It definitely caught me off guard, and like I definitely fucked with it like heavy. Like for a musical, like shit, I don't even know what other musicals there are, but it's probably the one I've enjoyed the most.
I don't think I've watched many musicals. I think the only thing that I could consider a musical that I watched was probably Moulin Rouge. And I loved it because it was about a brothel pretty much in
Yeah.
Paris. So that was nice. And the story was sung in songs that were already made. So they were playing like Madonna and like different rock groups. So like you were familiar with the songs, and it was dope at how they were able to place these songs in the scenes to where it's telling the story of what's actually happening. But Hamilton is dope because like maybe I'm late to the musical party, but the fact that they told a whole story about colonial times, is it factual? I don't fucking know. But the fact that they told the whole story in song and rap was amazing to me. It was beautiful. It was
Yeah.
great.
It was definitely crazy, and it wasn't the cliche like I am Hamilton, I'm gonna sign a bill. Like it was it
Yeah.
was real rap. It
Yeah.
was so fire. Like I fucked with it, and it definitely caught me off guard. And if you're into rap and hip hop music and you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you check it out, at least the first 5 minutes, because it's really really crazy, like what they did. Like if you think about, like, somebody had to like go and like read the history of what happened in this situation, and be like, okay, how are we gonna write this into a rap, and like not only
Yep.
tell a story with it, which is like one of the hardest things to do with rap music, is like tell a consistent story, but do it with metaphors and punchlines. Like it's crazy. It's really really on another level. So definitely check it out if you're a fan.
Even the singing, like I've been singing the sister song inside of my head the whole day. You know, when she was talking about how she really liked Hamilton, but she let her sister have him because she knew
Yeah,
that
she,
I've been singing
she
that in my head
fumbled
the
the
whole time.
bag.
Yeah, just please go watch Hamilton. Now, Felipe, I do want to speak on you using the N word really quickly,
Yeah,
if we may.
yeah,
So you're Mexican. You've said that
yes,
you grew up in Gwinnett. We've said that as well. So
yeah,
like when you say it, I don't feel a way because I know you. Like I know you're not saying it inside of a derogatory way. Like, and we grew up in the same community, so it's like you're my nigga. And I feel like you say that with us as well. So like because I know you, I don't feel any type of way. I think Hispanics mostly I don't feel a way about it, but do you usually get like any type of pushback saying it around other people, or are you mindful of who you say it around, or how does that work?
yeah. I've never had anybody tell me like, "Yo, why are you saying that?" Or like, "No, you can't say that." Um, it wasn't actually until I left Atlanta, because I was in the military, and I was around like black people that I had never met before. So it was like, wait, I forgot, like some people aren't cool with everybody saying that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So I'd have to catch myself, and it's like you said, like we grew up in the same community, and we grew up with the same people. And I mean, like if you I talk the way I talk, and I talk the way all of my friends talk, and that's what all my friends were saying. So that's what I was always saying. And I never had anybody tell me otherwise. And like the other he's like, yo, are you scared that people are gonna tell you can't say that? And I'm like, man, nobody telling me what the fuck I can say or cannot say. If they don't like it, then they don't like it. And I'm like,
Felipe,
like,
come
do I
back.
want to be fake and like act a certain way when I know I'm saying it in my daily life? Like, I'm not even gonna flex. Like I say it all the time. Like I use it just as much as black people use it. um but like, so do I want to be fake and not say it in my music even though I say it in real life? Or do I want to just like, do I want to like play it conservatively? And like at the end of the day, it comes down to what I was saying about like selling out or like getting the bag. Like there will be a certain point where I have to make a decision, like where it's affecting my bag, and it could be affecting it negatively, and it could not. And it's just weird, man, because if you think about like who's allowed to say it in music and who's not, and like you take like 6ix9ine or like Lil Pump, and it's like people are like, well, yeah, they can say it because they have tattoos on their face. So it's like,
What does
this
that
is
even mean?
yeah,
What are you
exactly.
trying to like?
Yeah, so it's crazy, man. Like I think it's really weird. It's really different. It's not something that I like it's honestly not really my call, to be honest. It really is just gonna come down to like what people are comfortable with. And honestly, like I feel like if people said like, no, you can't use it, I don't give a fuck, like you're not black, you can't say that shit, I don't give a fuck who you grew up with or who said you can, like you can't. I'd be like, that's fine, bro, like my vocabulary is very extensive, I could use a
I can
different
use
word.
other words. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it. I definitely don't like people telling me what I can and can't say, but I also like don't want to be
Offend.
disrespectful, because I know like I said, like I grew up in these communities, and I grew up like hand in hand with like black kids and other minorities, and like it's not the same experience obviously, but it's a similar experience, and you know what your friends went through and what your friends continuously go through. And if me not saying it helps at all, then like it does. But like honestly, I don't know if it does or does not help.
I
If
guess
I,
you wouldn't know until somebody tells you that it's not okay. But I
yeah,
think for the most part, real recognizes real, and like you're definitely not like a pretentious like guy who's like trying to be black, because like you've seen those people who like,
yeah,
oh, like
yeah,
I'm
no,
just trying to be down. Like you're just Felipe, like
yeah,
that's it. And
yeah,
so like when we're in conversation or hanging out, it'll fly and it'll just like it's not anything that I
yeah.
second guess. Like it's just like okay.
Yeah,
So
I feel like
we'll see.
I feel like people that know me for sure, it definitely like makes sense. And it would have been weird to like grow up feeling like I can't say it. Like I would have definitely faced this dilemma a long time ago. So that would have been weird. And now it's so ingrained, bro. It's so weird. Like in those situations where I can't say it, I've had so many almost slip ups because I got so comfortable with it.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's just part of growing up, man. It's just like we have
Yeah.
our customer service voices. Like you learn to be a certain person in a certain situation, and
Yeah.
it's just wisdom, man. It's knowing how to look out for yourself and cover your own ass.
Pretty much. Period. Well, um, that pretty much sums up what I thought about this week. Did you have anything else? I know you say you haven't really been on social media or paying too much attention to the news.
Yeah, no. J. Cole is gonna be in the league next year. Quote me on it. I'm investing early. Um, but
Please tell me why like. Is he actually promoting this? Did you see him
well,
play one on one? Like,
um,
what's making you say this?
the guy training him came out and said it, and he said that J. Cole is seriously training, and that his goal is to be on an NBA roster. Excuse me. Next year. And like, man, Cole Cole is nice with it, and he's tall. Um,
And he's tall.
he's definitely tall enough to play, and he's got the time and money to dedicate himself to doing it. And J. Cole's relentless, man. He's one of the smartest people in the music industry. He's another person that's very big on being independent and making his money and not like having to fold for any labels or anything like that. So I know he's not the type of person that'll blindly go into something that he doesn't think that he could actually accomplish. And if he thinks he can accomplish it, that means there's a pretty good chance. And if there's a chance, then he's gonna work and he's gonna get it. So I don't know if he's gonna be an all-star, but if he can get on an NBA roster, yo, can you imagine how many jerseys he would
Oh, it's
sell?
done. Yeah, it's sold
It's
out every
crazy.
time. As soon as a
Yeah.
new batch drops, it's over with.
Get that Charlotte Hornets Cole jersey. Like that would be crazy. I feel like everybody would be wearing that shit.
Well, that just answered my next question. Do you think he's gonna go? What team would you like to see him on? So I assume the
Yeah,
Charlotte Hornets.
he's gotta go to the hometown team, man. That's like it's like if Quavo played, you gotta play for the Hawks.
That's true. That is true. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that sums up what I thought about this week. On to introspective moments. All right. So for introspective moments this week, we're going to revisit the Ask Nina segment, and then we're going to just talk about some mess that we've been seeing on social media. So for Ask Nina this week, the homeboy Chris asked, "Why is it so hard for a large portion of women to hold themselves accountable for their contribution or lack thereof in a relationship? Why is it always the guy's fault?"
Ooh.
This is problematic, and this is fake news. Like, who is not holding themselves accountable here?
Yo. So
You sound
I
like you've been in a situation where you felt like the woman did not hold herself accountable. You sound
yes,
like
I do think that I've had experiences where it's difficult for the girl in the relationship to accept that they're wrong, especially in the moment. Girls can be very I don't know about good about apologizing, but they're good about like coming back and trying to fix things. But in the moment, like I feel like part of it is like growing up and like the whole like princess mindset and like whatever you want you can get it. Like it's not been many times when you've been wrong, so you haven't developed that skill, you know. And in a lot of situations, like girls are right. So like it's hard for anybody to do something that they don't have a lot of practice with and who doesn't have to face the consequences of not being skilled in that situation. So I think I honestly just think it's just like girls aren't wrong that often, so they're not good at being wrong.
I like that answer a lot, and I'm gonna ride with that. We're not wrong most of the time, so when we are wrong, it's hard to even fathom. Like, how I'm wrong
Yeah,
the one time ever. So
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I think I think accountability also just comes with maturity. Like, I think it's hard for any of us to be held accountable for things at a younger age and when we're first learning what it means to be in a relationship. Like, what is a relationship even? Because what we thought a relationship was at 18, 19, 20 was not really a relationship. It took
Yeah,
you going through those growing pains and knowing what you do and don't like and how to handle stressful situations to really know what a healthy relationship looks like and what accountability means and how to come to a compromise.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, it's
yeah.
not until it's not until you feel like, fuck, I should have done something different to make that go like in a better direction, that you start to work on yourself.
And that shit is hard because even now, like I tell myself that I have grown and I am enlightened, but in hindsight, like I know that I'm an impulsive person, and so if I feel attacked, like I'm immediately inside of attack mode as well. And when the fire like
Yeah,
fizzles out and things calm, and I look at it as I was like, oh damn, like he didn't really mean it like that. And I
yeah,
just got upset for no reason. But I can come back and say, my bad, you know.
yeah.
I felt
It's
attacked.
it's definitely hard in the moment. It's like it's one of the hardest things, and it's hard for people like even when you're working on it, you're like, all right, well, when I'm getting like that, just let me know and like I'll change. But have you ever tried to let somebody know that they're being petty or they're being wild or something like that? Like in the moment, like that's like the worst thing you could say. So it's kind of something you just got to ride out, and you have to understand the person that you're with, and be like, okay, like this is how they are in these moments, this is how they react to them. If I'm going to choose to continue to be with this person, I have to get used to it. And if I don't like who they are in these moments, and if these moments happen often, then I just have to decide that I'm not going to be with this person. So
Have to walk away.
exactly.
This is about to be a whole side episode about being in a relationship, but like being in a relationship, like a real one, is difficult because, like, okay, you kind of have to balance out accepting someone for who they are and just realizing that this is who they are and they're not going to change, but at the same time, not allowing that to hinder them from growth because sometimes we enable just bad behavior or them not communicating or them not putting in effort just off of the strength of us being like, oh well, that is just how they are, versus addressing a situation, allowing them to grow from it, and then versus you just dealing with it and suffering in silence because that shit
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah, I've definitely gotten to the point where like I'm like, look, I'm like, we're in a relationship. um like I'm not gonna break up with you for something like this, you know what I'm saying? But just know that when you do this, this is what you're doing, and this is what you're doing to me, and I'm supposed to be the person that you love the most in the world, and this is how you're treating me. I'm not gonna argue with you about it anymore. But if
Yeah.
that's what you're gonna do and that's what you're gonna choose to, then I just want you to understand that that's what you're doing. And like really, when because if somebody was saying that to you, you're like, fuck, like I'm really fucking this person up. If you care about that person, you're gonna change, and if you don't, then you're gonna show your true colors. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think really it's just communicating like how certain things make you feel, and then like leaving the rest up to your partner. And like people, man, people get fed up. People can only take so much. So if you leave it up to them and then you can't take it anymore, then you out, and that's it, and that's life. So I mean, I like it's kind of like hiring employees. You hire
Yeah.
you hire slow. You're very selective about who you hire, and you fire fast. As soon as somebody starts giving you those vibes that they're not going to be a fit, then move on.
Out
Because
of here.
yep,
Yeah.
because you gotta find that right person. You gotta find that right fit for you, and you can't be wasting time with people that you absolutely know it's not gonna work with. So I think
Yeah.
if you do that, then you increase your chances.
And then too, like let's not be petty. Like I have a friend who stopped talking to a girl because she didn't eat chicken wings right because she didn't eat all of the meat off of the chicken wings. Like stuff like that is petty. But you
No,
know, so like
but
let's not be
but
petty.
it's a deeper meaning because if she don't eat
Here we go.
all of the meat off the chicken wings, that means she's not appreciative of the food that she has in front of her. Like I eat.
You woke. I see it. I see it. I
See,
understand.
you gotta look deeper into it, man. I grew up with two brothers, man. If there was food left over, we were fighting for it. So I'm appreciative of my food, and like when I see people that aren't appreciative of the things that they have, I'm like, okay, this person,
Ungrateful ass.
yep, they grew up a certain way. They've always had this, so that's how they're gonna be in our relationship. Like they're gonna expect everything to be the way that they wanted it.
So you're peeping out red flags from the simplest of things. You see
Yeah,
the deeper meaning. Okay,
yeah,
so
you
I'm just
gotta.
not woke yet, is what you're saying.
Nah, you're woke. You just don't realize that you do it because everybody does it. Everybody makes judgments based off of what people do. They just don't put two and two together on why they feel that way about people that do certain
Mm,
things. Just
uh-huh.
like you see somebody like in a old Ford truck with a Trump 2020 sticker, and you kind of assume like what
Yeah.
kind of person they are. They could or could not be that person, but as you grow up, you learn that like your assumptions help you get in and out of situations. So everybody does it, man. Everybody's always looking around and judging, but um I think it you just gotta like look introspectively and figure out why it is that you have those judgments or those feelings about certain people.
So I would like to take this moment to apologize to my friend. You know who you are for even talking about you not wanting to be with old girl because she didn't eat the chicken wings the right way. Because obviously you
Right?
saw the deeper meaning and I did not. So my
Yeah.
apologies.
See.
So all that to say, accountability is not only for women, but I definitely think that accountability comes with maturity, not so much age, and just like practice within a relationship. Like relationships are not easy. It's not gonna be like you're gonna get into situations and how you handle it and how you grow from it is gonna ultimately determine if y'all are supposed to be together or not.
For sure.
All right, so let's talk about some messiness on the interwebs. Shout out to Wesley because he was supposed to be bringing these up, but CP time on me. CP time on me. So something that went viral on social media was a scene where a guy pulls up inside of his girlfriend's car, but his mom is in the front seat, and then it becomes an argument between the girlfriend and the mom on who sits in the front seat. To me, it's stupid, but how do you how do you take that situation? Who do you feel like should be in the front seat, or should it even matter?
This is actually a perfect follow up to what we were just talking about because if you like take a step back and see what that says about you as a person for getting in that argument, then it really shows you like it doesn't really matter who's right or wrong. The fact that you are willing to argue with your boyfriend's mom about that, like,
Mm,
really shows you the level of respect that you have for him and for her. Or and I mean, like parents or like older people, they're gonna be older people, and yes, like a lot of us guys, we're very attached to our moms, and we hold them in very high regards, and it can get to the point where it's toxic. But like, if you think about it, if you think of a guy doing that and he's like, nah, I'm your husband, I got to ride in the front seat, you would think that he sounds stupid. It's like, no, let the older person sit in the front. Like, why are you even arguing about this? Even if you're right or wrong, even if this is your place or it's not your place, the fact that you care so much about something so small and you're willing to damage relationships with your man's or your woman's family over something like that really just says a lot about who you are as a person.
do you think context matters? Because like I think, let's say hypothetically it's a situation to where, you know, okay, I am the girlfriend and I've tried time and time again to have a positive healthy relationship with your mom, but she doesn't respect me, and it's this complex because there are some moms out there who feel like if a girl comes into the picture, she's like taking her son away from her, and then they do petty shit. So like
Yeah.
if it's a situation to where okay, I have been trying to be the bigger person this whole time. Your mom doesn't respect me. She is the one to pop off every time. And not only that, but you're in my car that I pay the car note on.
Right.
So like does that make a difference or at this or you should just still be like, she's older.
I
Let me
mean,
just bow out gracefully.
yeah, I mean, on if it was me in that situation, that's what I would always do.
Yeah.
And in the like long term sense of that problem, I feel like it's up to your partner to kind of try
Yes.
to like mend things and make that relationship better. And if not, to kind of isolate yourself from that. Like your relationship and the person who you choose to spend the rest of your life with, is a very very difficult thing to do, and it's something that you have to work at every day. But also, like, at the end of the day, that's who you're going to depend on, and that's whose back you have to have. Like, you don't choose your parents, you don't choose your siblings, you don't choose your family, but you choose the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life. So if you chose that person and you decided like we got each other's back, then you got to have that person's back.
True. And after saying that, the person that was wrong in that situation was definitely the boyfriend because okay, you know that they don't rock with each other. Why would you pull up to the
I
house
think, yeah,
with
yeah, I think
with
that,
your mom in the front seat? Like,
yeah, it's got to be a understanding before. It's like, yo, every time we, you know how it is when we go to mom's, like like there's issues. If anything happens, just chill, we'll deal with it afterwards, and like this and that. But if you're having to coach your girl to chill, then you put yourself in that situation because you know she was crazy and you decided to be with her.
and then it's hard too because like again, like what if it's a situation where it's not your girl whiling, it is your mom? Like, how do you check your mom? Because at the end of the day, it's really your responsibility to try to mend that. Like, I shouldn't have to fight your mom,
Yeah,
but how do you choose a side? You know?
it's definitely harder when the person that needs to change what they're doing is the grown ass person. Um, because I mean that's just a tough situation for everybody. You don't want to tell your mom like, "Mom, come on, get up, go in the back seat, so she can sit up there." Like that would be fucked up, and I don't think I could do that. But I don't know, man. I don't like. I would just hope that the people that whoever I choose to be with, is not gonna put me in that situation, and is gonna help give me a way out of that situation, as opposed to like making it worse.
I don't know if you've answered this already with what you just said, but I'm going to ask it again a little more directly. Could you be with somebody that your mom did not like?
So my mom has never liked any of my girlfriends.
Oh my gosh, well, that answered
Like,
that.
yeah, at first my mom is like, I don't like her. Like, that's just her personality, and she always says like she couldn't have had a daughter because like she clashes with other females. But I feel like if they're the right person, your mom loves you more than anybody in the world, and if that person's making you happy, then they're gonna eventually grow on your mom. So
Hmm.
I think really it doesn't matter. I think like if the real shit will come out in the end.
Okay. So maybe your mom saw something that you didn't see.
Yeah, no, my mom's definitely saved me from a few situations.
Thanks, mom. All right, and the last thing that I want to talk about that went kind of viral on social media was a video of a guy who was giving his baby mom a gift on, they say it was his daughter's birthday, but it looked like it was his baby mom birthday. I don't know. But basically it was a paternity test proving that his 3-year-old wasn't in fact his. And he basically told Shorty, like, you and the baby got to get out by the end of the month.
Yeah,
Thoughts, comments?
I just gotta react to that. That it's crazy, man. I don't think I could ever do that to a kid, man. Like, at
Yeah.
that point, 3 years is a long time. I would have a lot invested in the kid, and I'd be like, yo, I found this out. I'm not fucking with you anymore. I love this baby. I thought this baby was mine. I treated this baby like it was my own child for 3 years, and like I want to be a part of her life, but like this is something unforgivable and I'm not going to deal with it. You definitely got to be more mature about it. Anything that's petty, that's viral on the internet is either fake or
Yeah.
it's people that like that are acting ignorantly. So I don't know, man. Like shit like that. I don't know. I definitely would like not support them anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
financially, like if the little girl needs something, like you know, obviously, like if even if it's not my daughter, and I never thought it was my daughter, it's hard to see any little kid struggling.
Yeah.
But definitely the mom is like you out and we done.
Trifling.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. So when I first saw it, I was like, "This is so corny." Like, I don't like when people like make these videos and post them. Like, even the parents that like spank their kids and then put it on social media to try to teach them a lesson. Like, I think that's hella whack. It's super
yeah, it's
corny.
weird.
It's super weird. But then I found out that they're actually actors, so that was nice. But
Yeah,
I guess they just wanted us to see like how would we react in that situation. And like you said, I would like to think that you have a heart and feel like even though the kid's not mine, I've been in his or her life for 3 years. We obviously have a bond, so it'll be hard to cut off the kid cold turkey. But then like how do you tell a man like this baby that I thought was mine for 3 years isn't really mine and that you lied to me and
yeah,
now I have to try to pick up the pieces.
yeah. If you're getting the test done at 3 years, you probably always
Yeah,
knew.
that's true. He did say that.
And he that should have happened a long time ago.
Are you in favor of doing mandatory paternity tests at the time of birth?
Not necessarily. I mean, if it just depends on what kind of a relationship it is, and how much trust there is and stuff like that. Because I mean, if you're in a situation where you think it's very unlikely that it's not your kid, there's no reason for you to do it. But usually, if you think something's going on,
More than
and
likely.
yeah. So I mean that shit. If I thought something was going on, that's good enough reason to get a paternity test. But yeah, I mean shit. Prenups too, man. It's crazy. It's like, I guess it really depends on what you have to lose, you know, because like I feel like if I had millions of dollars or something like that that I could lose, in a given situation, then I'd be like, I want to know for sure, like what is at risk, what isn't at risk. Did I get played? Was you know? So I don't. Yeah, maybe in that situation, but in a situation like us, like man, like what are you gonna take from me? Like I don't have shit. You know what
Take
I'm
this fuck ass Kia. Please take it. I hate
saying?
it.
Yeah,
Take it, please.
exactly. So I mean, I don't know. It definitely just depends on the situation.
I agree. Well, social media never disappoints with the drama and with the messiness. So we'll probably
Yeah,
have some more videos to talk about
yeah.
next week. But
I
uh,
feel like I'm not the best person to talk about those situations because I always like I'm always like, well, why don't you just do this? And it's like I feel like I should have had more like flagrant answers to that. Like,
no, I think that that's
yeah, fuck,
rational. And that's how most people probably feel.
yeah,
Well,
but like,
they should.
yeah. Yeah, I just need to be less rational on here. Next time I get on with you, I'm gonna start drinking earlier, and I'm gonna get on and be like, nah,
Just come out here and
fuck
say
that
some
bitch.
wild.
They could both get out the house. I don't give a fuck. That's not my kid.
Oh, that's so terrible. Oh my gosh, poor kid.
Yeah, that's
Oh man,
definitely a rough start.
damn it. Well, I'm not opposed to the paternity test at the time of birth. Like, especially if you have questions. I think it should be an option. Like, I don't even know if that is an option. Like, when you're going to go have a baby inside of the I'm about to have a baby packet, is there a check box or is there a box that I could check that say, let's go ahead and have a paternity test?
I don't know, but if you think and like you think something's going on, I don't think it'd be hard to get a DNA sample and do that shit yourself. Like if the baby's living with you and you're acting like it's your kid, how hard is it to like get some alone time with the kid and get a little cheek swab and send it in the mail? Like
Well,
if
that's what Kirk did on Love and Hip Hop. Did you
yeah,
see that?
no, I didn't.
Oh,
I
that's
did
what he
not.
did. Trifling.
Yeah, I mean, shit, why not? Like if it's your kid, then there's nothing to worry about. And if you do it secretly like that, then nobody will ever know and nobody's feelings will ever get hurt, and then you have your reassurance.
I just like, I just refuse to believe that, and even though it is very much real, that there's real life Maury relationships where you really don't know who the father of your kid is, or like there's a question of whether or not this person you're in love with is in fact the baby's daddy. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being in that situation.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. It would be it'd be I don't know. But it happens. It happens all the time.
Happens
And like
more times than not,
yeah,
more often than we would like to think.
and we definitely get ourselves in situations that we never thought
Yes.
we would be in. So I like nothing is impossible, and that's not even unlikely. Like it's very likely and it's very possible. So it
So
happens.
scrap up, be safe,
Exactly.
space out your partners. And if you think that the baby isn't yours, maybe do it before 3 years old, before you get
Yeah.
attached and
Yeah.
all
If
that
you
good stuff.
when in doubt, do that shit ASAP and find
When
out.
in doubt, do that shit ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that that is advice to live by. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of What Did I Think About This Week. Please be sure to check out Felipe, aka Fresco Felipe, on SoundCloud. Do you want to give them your handles and your tags and your links
Yeah.
and all that good stuff?
So I'm at fresco.philippe, and only Janine gets to call me Felipe. Um
Felipe.
yeah, cause she's old school. But yeah, it's at fresco.philippe on Instagram, on TikTok. TikTok is popping, man. Y'all got to get over on TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
I observe on TikTok.
Nah,
I'm not active on
you need
TikTok.
to be making content on TikTok. We're gonna talk about that. If you care about the future of your company, you got to think about your future consumers, and your future consumers are kids right now. You know,
That's true.
the 27-year-old decision maker of 10 years from now is a 17-year-old kid right now. So you gotta get get in front of them and get their attention now, so that they're rocking with you when they get to that situation. But yeah, man, TikTok is lit. There's a lot of like good shit going on over there, and it's fun to be interactive on there and shit like that. And it's still early in the process, man. You got like imagine, you know how like when Instagram first came out, every
Hmm.
like people were like, oh, this is just what kids are on. Like we're on Facebook, bro. Like it took everybody a year or two to start posting their pictures. They thought it was weird to post pictures on this app, and now it's like that's the only thing you do is
Yeah.
Instagram or Twitter. So I mean that's literally how it works, and that's what the next thing is going to be. Everything starts off as something that only kids do,
Oh,
until
I'm
it's
such an old head. You just, first of all, you just checked me. It's Fresco Philippe. You know,
yeah,
I was saying
like a
Felipe.
paddock.
Oh, got it. Okay, so mental note. And I'm an OG, triple G, old head. Like I be on Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
ever so. But you're right. It's important to like stay on trend and kind of catch things before they become trendy, so that you're already there. So you're right.
exactly. You got to have
You're
some
right.
foresight.
Yes, yes. I'll be sure to put all of your tags inside of the episode description. Shout out again to all of my listeners streaming live on Six Families Radio. If you have not already checked out otsguys.com for more dope content, we got podcasts about sports, sneakers, anime, shows, movies. We have What Did I Think About This Week? Whatever you may need, it's available on otsguys.com. Be sure to subscribe to my podcast, rate it, leave a comment, and send in all questions for hashtag Ask Nina. Everything's going to be inside of the episode description. Thank you so much again. Peace.